Microsoft says it is evolving the operating system. Windows is now described as a canvas for AI and intelligent agents. According to the company, this evolution is happening in three main ways. First, AI and agents are being brought directly into the user's workflow, with the goal of making them more intuitive to use. Second, Microsoft 365 Copilot is becoming more context-aware inside Windows. Third, Copilot and Windows PCs are being made more powerful through advanced AI. This announcement came directly from Microsoft just weeks ago. The message was clear. AI is now at the center of Windows. Windows 11, they say, is becoming an agentic operating system. Agentic is the new word for autonomous AI. The idea is that your PC will eventually make decisions for you, assisted by built-in intelligence. Shortly after the announcement, Pavan Devuluri, president of Windows and Devices, shared the news online. The reaction was far from positive. Many replies under Devuluri post received thousands of likes. One comment said Windows was evolving into a product that pushes people toward Mac and Linux. Another simply said, "Stop this nonsense. No one wants this." Others argued that Microsoft lives inside an AI bubble that most users are not part of. People use ChatGPT occasionally, and that's about it. They don't Eurostrade want their operating system transformed into an AI experiment. One comment accused Microsoft of pushing AI, mainly to sell user data. If you are Eurostrade used Windows in recent years, these reactions probably sound familiar. For many users, the frustration feels justified. AI assistance feels like the latest step in a long chain of decisions that make the computer you paid for feel less like it belongs to you. Forced update. Windows 11 has become one of the most criticized operating systems in recent memory. This isn't accidental. These decisions closely align with the long-term strategy of Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, and from a business perspective, the plan is working. But it raises an important question. Is Windows still a tool for users, or has it become a data extraction platform for Microsoft? These issues didn't appear overnight. They are the result of years of unpopular decisions. And yet, at the same time, Microsoft is one of the most valuable companies on earth, with a valuation around $3.8 trillion and climbing. Microsoft is more powerful than ever. This creates a contradiction. While the company's value continues to rise, the Windows user experience continues to decline. Many people sense something is wrong. There is growing curiosity about how the world's most widely used operating system stopped feeling like it works for the people using it. Windows is the operating system generations grew up with. It taught people how to type, how to use a computer, and what a laptop even was. Even today, its reach is enormous. Over 1 billion devices still run Windows. It controls roughly 70% of the laptop market. macOS sits around 13%, and Chrome OS remains under 2%. Despite this dominance, Windows has been slowly losing users for years. Privacy advocate and programmer Rob Braxman has said he hasn't seen resistance to a Windows upgrade this strong since the transition from DOS to Windows in the 1980s. According to him, the push toward Windows 11 has been unusually aggressive and widely rejected. So why does Microsoft keep pushing forward anyway? To understand that, we need to look at how Microsoft behaves when it holds a dominant position. In the 1980s and 1990s, Bill Gates built Microsoft empire by getting MS-DOS onto as many machines as possible. Once Windows became widespread, Microsoft could dictate the rules of personal computing. This led to famous antitrust cases, including forcing Internet Explorer onto Windows users. The strategy was simple: use Windows dominance to pull people into Microsoft ecosystem. That strategy never disappeared. It evolved. When Satya Nadella became CEO in 2014, Microsoft shifted its focus toward cloud services. Azure, Office 365, and enterprise licensing became the foundation of the company. The results were dramatic. Microsoft valuation soared as it moved from selling software to selling subscriptions and services. By fiscal year 2025, Microsoft reported around $252 billion in revenue. More than half of that came from cloud services alone. When most of your profits come from enterprise customers and subscriptions, Windows stops being the product. It becomes the funnel. In the corporate world, Microsoft control is nearly absolute. Windows 11 adoption crossed 60% after Windows 10 support ended. Microsoft also controls roughly 40% of the global cloud services market. Home users, by comparison, matter far less. The frustration they feel does not cancel contracts worth $1 billion. Their complaints don't affect quarterly earnings. Over time, Windows began reflecting corporate priorities instead of user needs. That's why Windows feels the way it does today. It isn't broken by accident. It's optimized for Microsoft business model. Once you reach the Windows desktop, the system immediately pushes you online. It encourages you to store files in OneDrive. Microsoft Office is now connected to a subscription plan. Features that were once included now require a payment. Even turning off your computer is no longer a simple action. Updates interrupt work, meetings and deadlines. Windows insists that it knows better than you when your time matters. Many users have experienced computers restarting or updating at the worst possible moments. Windows 11 contains many small but persistent problems that slowly wear people down. The interface is slower than earlier versions, partly because of constant background syncing. Microsoft even acknowledged that OneDrive syncing caused noticeable performance issues. Then artificial intelligence arrived. Microsoft invested more than $13 billion in OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT. That investment made artificial intelligence central to the future of Microsoft. New features spread across Word, Excel, Outlook, Paint and Windows through Copilot. Some features were helpful, others felt unnecessary. The idea of a computer powered by artificial intelligence sounds appealing, but the real experience often falls short. Copilot invents answers, struggles with basic tasks, and cannot reliably take action. Microsoft even warned users not to rely on Copilot in Excel for accuracy. Despite the marketing, Copilot often cannot do what it promises. It cannot browse the web for you, and it cannot perform tasks in a consistent way. Because of this, everything moves toward a system that keeps users tied to the online services of Microsoft, and Windows becomes only the outer layer of a much larger structure that continues in the next part, where the shift from Windows 10 to Windows 11 shows how deep this change goes. When Microsoft ended support for Windows 10 in October 2025, nearly 40% of users were still using it, which is close to 400 million people. The message was clear: upgrade or be left behind. The problem was that many users could not upgrade even if they wanted to. Their computers were still powerful, but Windows 11 refused to install because of a new hardware requirement called TPM 2.0. TPM, also known as the Trusted Platform Module, is a security chip that stores encryption keys. Microsoft presented it as an essential tool for protection, but many users saw it as a hardware lock that was not needed. Devices that worked well for years were suddenly considered outdated. Even worse, TPM creates a unique hardware identity that becomes linked to the Microsoft account of the user. It cannot be changed, and there is no way to avoid it. That hardware identity can be reached through programming interfaces used by outside companies. Access can be limited, but the purpose is easy to understand. The system fits well with modern artificial intelligence tools that depend on a stable identity and continuous trust checks. Windows 11 also requires a Microsoft account and an internet connection during setup. Local accounts are discouraged and are becoming harder to create. Because of this, the system moves toward a model that directs users into cloud services and builds a structure based on ongoing payments, which leads to several effects that continue in the next part. When people feel pressured or watched, they react. Many long-time Windows users no longer feel comfortable. Instead of feeling like customers, they feel treated as items inside a system. In some situations, users lose real control. Rob Raxman reported that Windows 11 interfered with his Linux partition without consent. This was not a mistake. It was an intentional choice. Privacy loss is another major concern. Microsoft calls it telemetry, and officially it exists to improve stability. In daily use, Windows gathers large amounts of information about the apps you run, the hardware you use, and the way you interact with the system. Unless you are using an enterprise edition, this data collection cannot be fully turned off. This is why the announcement of Windows Recall created a strong reaction. Recall was designed to take continuous images of your activity and store them for artificial intelligence search. Security researchers quickly discovered that this information was not well protected and could be reached by harmful software or by people with local access to the device. This means that every screen you have ever viewed could be revealed. Emails, private documents, messages, and photos are all included. Microsoft explained that the information was stored on the device. However, nothing prevents that information from being examined or sent somewhere in the future. The strong reaction from users pushed Microsoft to delay Windows recall and rebuild it with encryption and with ways to turn it off. Even with these changes, confidence was already weakened. At this stage, the discussion is not about a single feature. It is about the overall direction of the system. When reduced usability is combined with increasing concerns about privacy, it becomes clear why many people decide to leave. Users who want clarity and control often choose Linux. People who want stability and simplicity often choose macOS. Windows still has a large presence, but its share is slowly decreasing. This discussion is not mainly about artificial intelligence, it is about the priorities of Microsoft. Many users no longer feel included in those priorities. If you enjoyed this video, you can support the channel by subscribing and staying with us for future content.